Final thoughts on Tati Beauty Volume 1. So I just went swimming with Hazel. She has just been put to bed, so fingers crossed she falls asleep. But I'm so excited to play with the brand new Tati Beauty palette. It arrived yesterday. I was a bit bummed seeing like everyone already get their palettes, and I was like, damn, I'm still like waiting for mine. I was very lucky to get this when it first released. I did wake up at 1 a.m. for it. And this did cost me, with shipping and conversion and stuff, about $90. So expensive, especially probably for the first launch. But in saying that, it looks beautiful and it is quite a big palette. I haven't even opened it yet. This is the way the box came. This was literally just shoved into my letterbox. Thanks, postman. Didn't even knock on the door or anything, just shoved it in there. No lube. So yeah, opening it up, this is basically what I see. Gorgeous Tati herself. I have been a fan of hers for a really long time. I love her videos. I really love how informative they are. And I have actually purchased a few products that she's loved and recommended. In saying that though, I'm going to put my feelings aside for Tati. My feelings for Tati aside, just like I did with the Shane Dawson Jeffree Star palette, and I'm going to give you an honest, no bullshit review of this palette. This paper is crazy. Ugh, it feels so funny on your hands. All right, so this is basically how it looks. Outer packaging. I don't want to dive too deep into this because I know it gets really boring for some people, and I will have timestamps down in the description box below. As always, we're doing brush swatches, finger swatches, and I'm going to do 2 different looks with this. So this is cruelty-free and vegan and distributed by Tati Beauty LLC. So opening it up, here it is. It does look very crisp and clean. What is that? Is that a mark there? Oh no. So there's a little bit of glitter here, and mine already has a few little scratches on it. I don't know if you guys can see. It's nothing major, but you know, being brand new, my palette's already scratched. Let me get my, there's a few scratches on it. That's all right. I wasn't expecting it to be pristine, but yeah, there's definitely marks and scratches on the palette. I'm being very picky, but I am just being honest as well. I still have not opened this palette. I just ran and grabbed my phone, and I'm just gonna show you guys because it shows up a bit better this way. Like, it's only tiny. There's tiny little scratches. There's a bit of glitter on the outskirts and just a few little scuffs and stuff. Not expecting, you know, the palette to be absolutely pristine. They're my fingerprints, ew. But you know, for a brand new palette that you pay $90 for, is it going to affect the palette? No. I'm just being picky and being honest though. This is like a cardboardy kind of material, so it's bound to happen. It's bound to get scuffs and just, you know. Let's just open it up. I haven't even opened this yet, so. Oh my gosh, okay. Oh, bloody hell, it's beautiful. These pans look quite big. They just seem very, very girthy. I like it. The mirror is amazing. Like, oh, holy balls, that mirror is just perfection. It's very thin. Oh, and it's actually got like a smell, like a new car kind of smell to it. So me looking inside of the palette looks perfect. I mean, there's a few little marks, like where one of the shadows has kind of, let me just show you, where one of the shadows have moved a bit, but you know, it's not the end of the world. It looks absolutely beautiful. Holy balls. I'll give you guys a rundown. This is basically her textured neutrals. So you have 6 different shades, and each shade is in a different finish. So this whole row, all the same shade, different finish. Same with all of the other ones. So you've got matte, you've got like glimmery, shimmery, metallic, and a glitter as well. I'll have the proper names like listed because I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm not like looking it up on my phone. Absolutely looks stunning, to die for, beautiful. It's actually funny how drastically a shade can change when you start making it more metallic as well. Let's get straight into doing the tutorial for you guys. I really, really love this mirror, and I really appreciate how big this mirror is. Size matters. So I am just going to prime. I'm not much of an eye, like I don't really believe in primers, but because I don't have any makeup on, it is nice to just give me more of a blank canvas and also a little bit of a tacky base for the product to sit on. Would I go out and buy a specific eye primer? No. But using concealer for me works fine. You can use foundation, you can do whatever you want in life. Holy balls, look at that difference. I mean, so one thing I did like about, you know, the idea of this palette is you can use it in one particular row. You could use it diagonally if you wanted to, or however you choose to use it. You don't have to do it that specific way. You could even do it acrossways if you want like all mattes, all kind of shimmers, you know what I mean? So I think that's quite cool. I have an idea what I'm doing. No, I never do. So I think I'm gonna go into Story first, which is, let me just give you guys. So I'm gonna go into the matte version of Story. Up a bit, I do have a dense brush here, and I'm basically, gonna pat this onto my tacky base. So I do like to just press the color in, and I'm definitely feeling that even the more you're pressing, the more intense and rich the color is getting. So I still, like, I hadn't got any more on my brush. I'm gonna pick up a bit more and see how far we can push it, like see if we can intensify it even more. It definitely seems like you can build with these, which is great. I'm interested to see how these kind of colors will blend. So just that outskirts, I am going to just softly start to buff it a little bit. I'm still using the same brush. I just want to see how it goes with the tacky base. It's seeming to blend really quite nicely, actually. I don't have a fluffy brush. This is still a stiff brush, and there is nothing else on the brush. So, wow, okay. Tati, you're bringing it. I knew her palette would be amazing because she does seem like a amazing perfectionist in a good way, I do actually have a bottle of her Kiwi Seed Booster. I've been meaning to do a review, but just haven't got around to it. So even just this one single color on its own, nothing else on my base, this is blending like a dream. And this is a matte color, and normally matte colors, especially on a tacky base, can tend to stick. They can tend to be, you know, stiff, not the good kind of stiff, and just, you know, hard to work with. But this is looking absolutely freaking stunning. I'm impressed with that. So I'm thinking Ritual, which is this dark brown. This one is Poet, but I know, you know, let's do more of a browny, warm, smoky eye. So this is going to be just, again, builded onto what we've already done. And it does seem like it's layering quite nicely on top of the orange shade that we've already done. This is mainly just to add a tiny bit more depth. Still using the same brush, and as you guys can see, I'm just like patting. Grab it back in between Story and Ritual on my brush. Mainly want more of the orange Story color. And again, we are just going to blend. I definitely feel like these shadows, like a little does go a long way. Like even just patting on that brown, as you start to blend, like there's just a lot of product there that you can work with. I know you wanted something that was very buttery and just stunning to work with. And I think, in all honesty, I know I've only really started using the palette and I don't know how it's gonna go longevity wise and everything, but I think if you're starting off with makeup, if you're really, really passionate and love makeup, so far from what I've seen, just from these mattes alone, it is freaking beautiful. It's so easy to work with. I'm having no issues with blending. I'm not the best blender in the entire world, let's be honest. I'm gonna go in with Aura, which is this light shade now, and more of a fluffy brush and just see what it does. But I think this honestly would give someone the ability to be able to blend and create some amazing shadows, because it's just beautiful, absolutely stunning. I'm gonna go back in with Story with this blending brush. So yeah, so far I am impressed, and I'm considering purchasing another one to have in my kit. So I'm basically just going backwards and forwards between these colors. So here is how it's looking. It has just smoked and blurred out perfectly. Oh my God, I don't even know if I'm in focus, I'm sorry. My camera has major issues with focusing. It's like, focus. So I'm going to cut the crease now. So now I'm going to go in with, so this is the Rose Soothe, but I want to go in with this particular color. I'm going to see how it goes with this brush, but a finger as well. I'm sorry, so many innuendos lately, but a finger would be really nice as well. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking finger now that I've started. So this has like a really nice gold base to it. Feels beautiful and soft. I am going to go in with the brush where it gets closer to that crease. So I'm basically going to go back in with Ritual, the matte version. And in this very outer portion, it is so pigmented. Like that almost looks black. And I'm just patting. I do want to go in with a bit of Story and just pat that on as well. Kind of blend the Story and the Ritual together. I am finding that it is a little bit challenging, not majorly, but to apply the mattes over the top of a shimmer. So I probably should have left that outer portion knowing that I wanted to apply a matte back over it, because it is kind of like, it's like the formula of the shimmer is just so buttery and so soft that the mattes are just kind of melting into it and turning like a shimmery version in a way. Maybe what a good idea might be is to go in with this version instead. So I was trying to go in with the matte, but I might go in with this one and just see if more of the shimmer version, because it's a little bit softer perhaps. Oh, okay. That has just been like, bam. It's like the matte was almost sinking into the product and didn't want to work with me. But this, it's just like bowls, hello, I'm here. It is a different formula to the one down. Like this has little kind of the glitter particles in it. I think this one is actually blending in a lot better. So this is how it is looking so far. But I think it's time to add some glitter. Now I'm pretty sure I remember her saying in her video that you press very, very softly, very lightly. So I'm thinking I'm going to just stick in the same family and do the Soothe in the glitter, or I may do that one, a touch of that. Okay, touching it does have a bit of give, so it is a little bit soft. Oh my God, like this is the lightest fingerprint that I just put in there. Of course, you could probably dig it out if you press really hard. It does feel dry. Like it doesn't feel like, you know how sometimes cheaper glitters in a way have a lot. I know she did say that this has a lot of that base, but sometimes cheaper ones are majority this jelly kind of base with a little bit of glitter. This feels like definitely dry, but it feels still soft. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'm basically going to pat this on this inner portion. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes with a brush, because with my finger alone trying to carve out that crease, that's not going to happen. And I know you don't have to technically go right up into that crease. I am going to get a little bit of the Story color, which is it here, just very lightly. And just where those two colors meet. So I am having a bit of fallout with the glitter. Nothing major, but you guys can see like here, and I'm having a little bit here. So definitely with this palette, I think doing your eyes first before you do your base is going to be a good idea. It's almost like, it feels almost like a loose glitter with a little bit of like creamy base pressed into a tin in a way. Definitely a lot drier than what I thought. And when I say dry, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. So I've just got this little brush here, and I'm going to dip into the Soothe glitter. It does seem to pick up a bit, if that's wanting to focus. That's just me being very, very light. And I just want to see how it goes. If you really need to like strategically place it somewhere. It may not be the best idea to use a glitter if you need it to stay in a certain area, because it may move and budge and, you know, transfer a little bit, but we'll see. Gonna go in with Story. Showing you guys, I mean, there's a little kind of blob of lighter glitter here, but we will check back in and see if this glitter has kind of transferred up into all this matte stuff that I've done, because that would kind of suck if it transfers like that, but we'll just have to wait and see. I want to do a fully black smoky eye on this side. No cut crease, just like really trying all of those colors. So I'm going to go in with Memory, the matte. Oh, it's got on the side here. How blind am I? Got on the side here exactly what they are. So we've got matte, sequin, metallic, and glitter. So going in with matte Memory. Oh, oh, hello Tati. This is good. Normally blacks are just hard to really get this dark this quickly, you know what I mean? Normally I find I need like a black gel base or something along those lines to really get the color there, but this is already there, so thank you Tati. So I've basically just done, I mean, God, look how messy that is, but that's okay. Done those outskirts. I want to go in with the sequin, kind of layer it over the top. I mean, I think it's honestly just like the matte, but it has just that little bit of glitter shimmer reflect in it. I'm going to go in with my finger and the metallic. Whatever's on my lid currently, I'm just going to see how I can move this and see without dipping in what I can do. Normally with a smoky eye, like I'd like to go in first with a transition, you know, all that just to help it blend, because going straight in with black can be so hard and so hard to blend. But I am pretty impressed so far because I have not grabbed any extra color on my brush. This is me just already using what was on the lid, and I feel like just how soft and buttery it is. It's allowing me to just really soften and smoke this out without having that warmer transition, you know? Are you guys seeing this? Look at that. I definitely feel, obviously, because I am buffing this so much, that I am losing some of the intensity, but not majorly. So I do obviously want to go back in that matte and just bump that up a little bit. But I am so impressed at how these colors work. I don't think ever in my life I've been able to blend pure black like that. Wow. That metallic in the center really almost gives it like this wet kind of glossy look. Even just as that is, like it does look a bit glossy, you know? So I am going to go in with the glitter. I'm just going to pat that in the center. I mean, how glossy does that look? And I think having that metallic there, it's just really like, whew. I do have a little bit of fallout. And a little bit of fallout with probably the sequin color. One thing as well, you do dip in between sequin and then go back to the matte with the same brush, it's to be expected that the matte is going to end up with some of that sequin color there. Just bear that in mind if you do go back and forth. Obviously you can probably dust it off. Yeah. I think I just inhaled some. Yeah, you can dust it off. Is this in focus? And you can actually see just how soft, look at that, just how soft that shadow is. Like there is a lot of kind of fallout and stuff throughout the palette, but that's nothing major. I don't mind that at all. Because of the shadows performing the way they do, I think a tiny bit of kickback in the pan, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to do the rest of my base makeup and we'll be back to finish off the lower lash line, and then we'll do some swatches and all that jazz. Inner corners of the lashes are lifting a bit, but that's all right because as soon as I've finished here, I'm gonna wash all this off. So you know, it's okay. So I'm just gonna go in with Story along the lower lash line. I go in with a bit of the Ritual, a little bit of the metallic Aura. I want a bit more of that on my brow bone too. I do like to kind of layer stuff along the lower lash line. I just feel like it just brings it all together, you know what I mean? So again, I'm going to go in with Memory Matte. I'm basically just going to stamp that over the top of the liner that I used. I'm going to go in with the sequin version. I think even the sequin, I'm noticing glitter fallout. And it's very easy to go too much like I just did. I look like a panda, but that's okay. If I was planning on wearing this out, I mean, God, I'd probably just rock it how it is. But you can always go back in with a bit of concealer and just bring it up a little bit so it's not like too... Again, Aura. Wow, like look at how much, you guys probably didn't even see that. That just like stamped over the top of that just beautifully. So I'm gonna zoom you guys right in. So here we have the matte black side. As I said, my lashes are lifting a bit. I didn't curl my lashes, so just don't worry too much about my lashes. But in terms of shadows, I feel it's beautiful. I haven't really noticed that much of the glitter transferring. It doesn't seem like it's creasing or anything like that. And I just think it is stunning. It's really, really beautiful. Let's have a look at this side. I really want to blend that lower lash line a little bit more with the liner, but it's okay. I'm not being anal. So this is basically how it's looking. Again, sorry, I'm looking at my viewfinder as a mirror. It hasn't really transferred up into that matte shadow on the crease, which is good. I mean, I did line it over my actual kind of crease line, so that's probably why. It may do it if you are really focused on the inner portion of your crease, but as I've done it, it's not transferring, which is really good, and I haven't noticed any kind of fallout or anything like that, so that is really, really good. It seems to have stayed quite crisply in there, and again, I think it is absolutely stunning, beautiful, beautiful. I did notice mainly on this side, obviously because it is the lighter side, doing a liquid liner. I had like a felt tip pen. I had the quick flick, and lining that on top of the glitter was a little bit difficult. So I think if you had quite a liquidy liquid liner, that would be a lot better to get a really dark line. Obviously you can still see I've got liner on there. I got it on there. It's just, it did transfer some of the glitter from my lid onto the felt tip applicator. So just bear that in mind. I think a really liquidy liquid liner would be a lot better. So I will just take some photos just where I am now with and without a flash, just to show you guys and see how it picks up with flash and all that jazz. Also going to go out into direct sunlight just to show you guys and see what it looks like. Look at my hair, look at those flyaways. Yes, it's really bright light. Now I am going to give you guys some swatches. So as always, I'm going to point you guys down to the crutch. You can see my cool shorts. Hi! Got Memory. Should I do all the mattes? Yeah. Memory Ritual. Ritual does seem a little bit stiffer, and it has kind of balled up a little bit. I did not notice that on the eyes. Story. Again, Story does seem a little bit stiffer as well. Again, I did not notice that on the eyes. It had no issue on the eyes. Maybe because I have just gone swimming. Maybe it's like I've got chlorine still on my skin. I don't freaking know. All right, and Soothe. But yeah, then again, I didn't notice it was Soothe. So these two have kind of balled up a little bit. But like I was saying, you very rarely do makeup with your fingertips. You know, got Aura. I think the only one I didn't use was Poet, but that's all right. Wow, holy balls, look at Poet. That is Sequin. So we've got Sequin, that was Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe. This definitely just feels like even a more buttery version of the mattes, because they do have that little bit of that glitter in it. It almost seems like it is the same glitter that's in these ones, but just a very, very smaller concentration. They seem quite large bits of glitter. Aura and then Poet. All right, now onto Metallic. Memory, Ritual, Story. Wow, Story is beautiful. And Soothe, as well as Aura and Poet. These are freaking stunning. Absolutely beautiful. Now we are onto the glitters. Got Memory, Ritual, these are beautiful. Story, Soothe, Aura, does have green. This has bits of green and bits of purple in it as well. Poet. So they are the glitters right here. How beautiful. And they do have a very glossy wet look to them. So now I do want to go in with some brush swatches as well. Like always, I do tend to use more of a stiffer kind of packing brush for my brush swatches. So let's go into Poet Matte because we haven't really played around with this that much. God, look how friggin' buttery and soft and beautiful that is. Obviously there is quite a bit of kickback here, but that's okay. And just blending it, it's like a freaking dream. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever come across that to this extent. Like that is insane. Let's try metallic with a brush. So metallic doesn't give off as much payoff with the brush. Like I said, I do tend to prefer a finger swatch just because it's like almost the heat of your fingers just melts it in and just gives you that much more payoff. Let's go in with a sequin in Story. Again, beautiful. And why not try a glitter just with a brush? I mean, we'll see. I did use it with a brush. It does seem to pick up a fair bit on the brush. And yeah, it seems to lay down quite well as well with the brush, but you don't have as much control. And I think it does spread the glitter out a little bit more, so you don't have a super like full-on coverage section. So let's dive into some just facts, figures and stuff on this palette. I do like to do this with brand new palettes, brand new companies, or just things, new things in general. So I'm going to break down net weight, what is in each shadow, and break it down as cost per shadow, and also give you guys some different figures in pound, American dollar, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, just to give you guys more of a breakdown as well. So I'm going to switch over to voiceover mode because I cannot work this out in my head right now. I need to sit down and write down the figures. There are different weights in this palette. The glitter weight is 0.75 grams or 0.03 ounces, while the metallic, sequin and matte all have a weight of 1 gram or 0.04 ounces. So that gives you a total palette weight of 27 grams or 0.66 ounces, and you have 24 shades in total in the palette. Let's talk about price. So my order was $48. This is in American dollars for the Textured Neutrals palette. Shipping on top was $9.95, and then I got stung GST of $4.80. So all up, I paid $62.75 US. Now let's convert that. 91.55 Australian dollars, 99.3 New Zealand dollars, 48.79 pounds, and 56.87 euros. So that is including the cost of the GST, and assuming that the international shipping was $9.95. I'm not sure what the shipping was charged within America, if there was shipping, I'm not sure, but that is basically the breakdown for international shipping, I think. I'm not sure if there's different shipping prices for different countries, but you know, you get the idea. So breaking that down per shadow price, you pay $3.81 Australian, $4.12 New Zealand, £2.03 and €2.36. Final thoughts on Tati Beauty Volume 1. Oh, this is a must-have. Honestly, I feel like this is like competing for my favorite shadow with Jeffree Star, in all honesty. And I know that's a massive claim to make, but Tati, if you are watching this, holy ballsack, you have done an incredible job. My phone's going off. I really, really love Jeffree Star's formula with shadows. I think they are just incredible. However, there's always that odd shadow that I do struggle with a little bit. This seems to be perfection. For me to be able to do a matte black and blend and smoke it out and diffuse it so much with only having matte black on a tacky base, I mean, what is life? This is honestly incredible. I think this is a must-have if you absolutely adore makeup. If you're a professional, I am going to buy a second one of this and have this in my kit, because glitters, like just the way that this friggin' blends and melts, it's just buttery, satiny, incredibleness. I mean, I know every time you see a beauty guru or someone announce a palette and they say how amazing the formula is and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, you're hyping it up. How much can I believe of that? But everything that I think Tati said was not bullshitting. It was true. This is buttery in the most beautiful way. Yes, you're going to get probably kickback in the pan. You guys saw I only really had fallout with the glitters, and I don't tap off my brush. I personally don't like to waste that pigment. Why? I found that these blended absolutely incredible with a dense packing brush. It blended with a packing brush. I mean, wow. The range is gorgeous. I know a lot of people think it's boring, it's done before, blah, 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 but honestly, throw out all your other freaking palettes and just get this. Seriously, seriously, because I will be definitely reaching for this a lot. I know it does seem more basic, but I think this is a basic that you're going to hit pan on, that you're going to use a lot. The mirror is incredible. Traveling, like the size of this, size matters. And it's just basically no nonsense. It's just got right in there. It's here to stay, and I'm amazed. Yes, the price point is expensive, $90. For me, being the makeup lover that I am, this is friggin' incredible. I don't have anything negative to say. I mean, except for those little scuff marks on the outer part of the packaging. As I said, it's not the biggest deal, but the formula is a dream. The colors work beautifully together. If you're stuck for something to do, you can just stay in one row. You can go diagonally, you can go crossways, like if you really want to do it that way. The glitters, yes, there was a little bit of fallout, but they haven't transferred. They're sticking to where they are. I'm a bit shocked, actually. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. And always I kind of think someone's very first launch may not go down perfectly, and you know, that's okay, and there's always room to grow and blah 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 blah. But me sitting here now, I'm like, how can you top this? Like, I think the formula is just perfect for me, and I need to buy another one right now for my kit, because I'm going to be friggin' using this on clients, and I cannot wait to see what else she brings out. Tati, if you're watching, you've made a massive fan in Australia. I've always been your fan, but this has really blown my socks off. It's blown them off. My socks are off. I've got bare feet. I'm just like, wow. And I know a few people have probably held back from purchasing it just to see people's reviews, and that is completely okay. You will not be disappointed. I'm just like speechless. It's very, very rare that I have nothing really negative to say, not even like constructive criticism. I mean, if I do have any updates of this, like if this turns to shit in the next few hours on my eyes or whatever happens, I will pin a comment and just keep you guys updated with how this goes throughout the day. But so far, holy balls, I am amazed. Thank you, Rainbows, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on this palette. Leave a comment below. Did you purchase it? Do you think you'll purchase it? Subscribe, leave me a comment, like, hit the bell, yeah, all that jazz. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.